Today, I have to share the sad and unfortunate news that on Thursday morning, Thanksgiving morning, we learned that our founder and dear friend Mitch had tragically passed away. As many of you know, Mitch was a fighter and he loved the community that he built so very much. And each and every one of you mean the world to him as you do for us. And we really appreciate your support during this tough time.
Like, believe me, I'm at a point where I'm comfortable. I don't really need to do this anymore. You know, I do this because I love it. You know, I had a chance to totally retire and do nothing and still get paid, and I didn't take it.
Chris, you know you love the Mets.
Love.
Love them. You are the grimmest.
Wow.
Like, Brian, looks like a little puck dog sandwich down there, right? With the Ron in between the Chris and Rod.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be an Oreo stuffing between those two.
It's kind of, I don't know, man. Call me crazy. That's a puck dog sandwich.
Okay, I got a fresh sleeve for a new do not bet list because we have to remove the Commanders from the list. We'll be adding some other teams to the list. I think the Jets could go on the list. Poor Costi, wailing it out today. Is that a whale tail out sprouting out of your head? Or are you just glad to see me? Well, everyone knows what I feel about Doug Peterson covering the point spread. It's been well documented by my wife's video. She posted of me watching the Colts game. That coach. That coach. Say, if you're 31st out of 32 teams when it comes to profitability, I'd call that a bad bet and straight ass because it's early Monday. Kind of like what Ruffalo says, man. Rack City, bitch. Rack City, bitch. Rack City, bitch. Rack City, bitch.
We're not just building a community, we're part of the community. And that really is, you know, for me, that's what it's all about. So I appreciate all of you, and I love being part of the community. You know, as much as I like running Pick Dogs, owning Pick Dogs, and being the face of Pick Dogs, I also really like being part of the Pick Dogs community. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoy our channel. I hope you subscribe and become a regular viewer here at our Pick Dogs YouTube channel. This is Mitch. Anything you need, just reach out and let me know.
What is going on, everyone? Chris from pickdogs.com, and you can see it in the title. We are here 1 year later, celebrating our friend, most importantly, my boss. But no, I'm kidding. He's one of my best friends, Mitch. You know, we got a lot of great people here, a lot of my friends, a lot of, you know, fellow cappers here to talk about Mitch and, you know, share some of our favorite stories and how we even give out a pick or two, because that's kind of what this whole channel was based on. And first, I'm going to bring in someone that knew him better than any of us ever could, and probably heard a lot more of the rants than we've ever heard. I mean, in fairness. So, Carrie, how are you doing?
Hi, you guys. I'm not sure. I can't hear you, Chris, so I'm hoping that
you can hear me?
you can hear me okay. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Okay. Thanks, everyone. Wow, that was such a great video. I can't believe we are at the year mark. I'm just so grateful. I can't believe that you all are all still here. It's been 1 year, the hardest year ever for me. But you show up every day. These handicappers show up every day. And this is what Mitch loved. And this is, the community has just been so supportive and just so loving and so kind to me and to everyone. And we're keeping everything that Mitch loved alive. And thank you for coming together today to just honor him and remember him and just help me kind of get through this terrible, terrible time. But you've all been just fantastic. So we came on today because we're hoping to keep it a little light. I think that video just caught me for a moment. But I also had to share my favorite Mitch story today, especially because it's Black Friday. So one of my favorite memories with Mitch today is that him and I were living in Chicago. Money was a little bit tight for us, so we thought we'd take advantage of all those Black Friday sales. And he was just starting out with this company. And so we were right off Michigan Avenue. We hit Michigan Avenue. We go to Filene's basement and we get a coupon before we even start shopping at 4 a.m. in the morning to get all the best deals. So we don't know what this coupon is going to be until the very end. So we do our shopping. We get a lot of great Christmas presents. I think he even bought a winter coat. And we get to the counter and we got the most off. We rubbed our little coupon and we got 40 extra % off our total sales. So right there, we already thought we won the whole entire day. And I'm like, we should go. We're lucky today. We should go to the casino. So we got in the car at 5 a.m. in Chicago, freezing cold, Black Friday, drive over to Gary, Indiana to the casino. And I hit the slot machines for like 1,800. Mitch was doing pretty well on the craps table. And one thing he always did on the way out the door when we left was to play our anniversary. And of course, on the roulette wheel. And of course, that hit. So we walked home after that shopping spree and that time at Gary, Indiana, $3,600 richer. And I'm like, we could just die happy now. This is the best Black Friday ever. So in true Mitch fashion, wherever we were always trying to bet on something or win something, whether it was shopping or right to the casino. So it's one of my favorite Mitch stories to share with you guys today. And thank you for continuing on with this great community and believing in all of the people who are still running it, because they're just doing a great job. And I just have a tremendous amount of gratitude for all of you guys. So we're keeping everybody a little bit short today, so I'll back off and let Chris come back on here again. Thanks, Chris.
I hope you can hear me now.
I can't hear you, so I'm hoping you heard me. I'm at this hotel and I just needed to get away today and didn't want to be in the house, and so this internet is probably not the best. So I'm hoping everybody got a chance to hear me. But thanks for letting me share my special story and for being off on this kickoff today. So I'll let you let me go.
Absolutely, Carrie. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for everything.
Thanks,
I know you
everyone.
can't hear me right now, but watch it back.
I'll say aloha and hui hu. Talking over you now.
It's okay. Watch it back and you'll hear me after. But thank you so much. Appreciate it. She is still one of the founding members of Pick Dogs, and the reason we're all here. So make sure you send Carrie lots of love today. But we'll move on. We've got a lot of people behind the scenes, and someone else that I'm going to bring on just now. I wouldn't know him without Mitch, just like a lot of us, and someone that was very now integral to our morning show, whether we like to admit it or not. Costi, how you doing?
Doing okay, man. I'm on the road here as well, but I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's very odd, and I feel extremely like I can't celebrate all the wins because that's what Mitch and I shared all the time. And it's not about just the games, but the ability to connect to a community and be able to give our opinions, give our thoughts, but also have a lot of fun doing it. And, this last year has been extremely difficult without him because of his vision, his creativity, his ability to be one of a kind. And I missed the laughter. I missed him, first of all, just being a friend. I mean, he was a very close friend of mine in the short time that we had spent with each other. And, every day when I do the morning show, I just think of him like, who would he blast today? And today it would be Lamar. Today it would be the Ravens. He would tell me that they're absolute shit and how pathetic they were last night. And I miss that. I miss the banter. I miss the Mitchisms and everything that went along with it. And what I'm proud of is in the last year, how this community, how all the people behind the scenes, without his vision, were able to still continue to live and provide literally the best content on the internet, from behind the scenes, from the articles, from the videos, and just being able to connect to the audience. And it's funny. I talk to people. I was actually sharing this with Carrie the other day. I talk to people all the time through the different channels that we have for people that subscribe to our products. And a lot of people that I talk to have never heard of who Mitch Wilson was. And it makes me upset at times that I'm talking to somebody that has no idea the creator of this amazing community. But it also gives me hope that the people in this community still come back here because it wasn't just about him. It's about all of us and what we've built. So I'm grateful to still be here. I'm grateful that I could still remember the good times. Even though he made fun of me all the time, I wish he would still make fun of me one more time. But I know there's still a lot of people here that want to share their experiences and still pay tribute to him. But I'm just blessed to be here and to be able to keep coming on here every day and making fun of you as well, Chris. So that's all I got.
Lamar sucks. I just want to make fun of you too, but no, it's always good to have Costi on. And yeah, I a lot. You're going to hear a lot of the same sentiments today, but that's what we're here for. We're here to share our love for one of the people that made a huge impact on a lot of us, and just means that now I'm the one that has to make fun of Costi. Sorry about your damn luck.
So what are you supposed to say to me?
Fuck you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that more than you know.
It's the most loving fuck you you'll ever get in your life.
Yes. Yes.
And I mean it, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
I know you do. I know you do.
Thanks, Costi. Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming on today, and we'll see you throughout the week.
Yep. See you on Monday.
As we continue to give out winners. It was Costi. Like I said, someone that I definitely would not have known without Mitch. Definitely think it's a blessing that we were able to get Costi involved. But next, we'll bring on some familiar face. If you've been here through the drive-through days, you've seen him around plenty. He's also a Pick Dogs Premium. Damian Sosh, someone I've been able to have the pleasure of working with and hosting on the drive-through once in a while. Damian, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Chris. It's good to see you again. It's been a while. And, hey, like you said, without Pick Dogs, chances are we probably never, ever meet each other. And that's the great thing with this. I know, Mitch, when he originally started this channel and everything, the Pick Dogs community, he asked me to jump on board. And I've been here from the get-go. I couldn't be more grateful and more thankful. Not only did he assemble a great group of handicappers, but it's a great group of people. It's just guys that you want to hang out with, girls you want to hang out with. It's great, and Mitch created that, and I think that's more special than anything. Because and like you said, a lot of these same sentiments that have been echoed here by Carrie and Costi already. I'm going to say the same thing. And I really miss the banter that Mitch would provide. I know oftentimes I'd be getting a text or a message here. Hey, Damian, Mitch mentioned you on the morning show. He's ripping on Notre Dame again back there. And as you know, Mitch is a huge college football fan. I absolutely love college football. It's my all-time favorite. And I remember this is a couple of years back, Mitch and I, we were emailing each other back and forth. I don't even remember what we were emailing each other back and forth at the time, but I do remember all of a sudden I get this email coming in. It's a message from Mitch saying, hey, Damian, just so you know, my favorite Notre Dame moment is 1985 when Miami beat Notre Dame 58-7. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, I guess I'm going to have to come back with, do you remember the next year in college basketball, Notre Dame had a run up. They managed to beat Miami by 53 points. And it's just going back and forth. And it's those kinds of things that I miss. I miss getting those messages. Hey, he's, messing on Notre Dame or something like that. And those are the things that made it great. Those are the things that I miss the most, in all honesty. And in his honor here, you know what? I'm going to give out Notre Dame tomorrow night. They're going to lay it on Stanford. It's a huge number. Lay it to 1,000, lay it to infinity. I don't care what it is. They're going to be keeping me up till 2 a.m. because the game's kicking off at 10:30 at night for the 14 Stanford fans that exist in the world. Give me a break. Irish roll. Mitch, we love you. Oh, you're muted, Chris.
Shit. See, in true Pick Dogs form, I am muted. I thought you were going to say it was because they were, they were keeping up till 2 a.m. because they wouldn't stop scoring because the end zone was getting away.
Yeah, that could be too. Man, I tell you what, that's ridiculous kickoff time. But what are you gonna do?
Marcus Freeman is not going to take his foot off the gas. I am convinced.
He can't. He can't really. I mean, they can't. I mean, I think they're in anyway. And that's the other thing I miss with Mitch right now, because Notre Dame, Miami, that's all they're going to be talking about. I could just imagine the conversations we'd be having back and forth going on right now. I know he'd be back in Miami, I'd be back in the Irish. We'd be going back and forth, and I miss that. I think that would be an awesome thing, But we miss you, Mitch, and like I said, college football was his thing. I absolutely love college football, and I can only imagine what would be going on about right now.
You and me both. Yeah, we probably be here all day. This one just be a 1 hour show. But,
for sure.
But I appreciate you hopping on, Damien. Thank you for coming on. We'll find you over at Pick Dogs Premium, and we'll find you here throughout the week. Maybe we'll get you on the morning show once in a while.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Damien Sosh, one of the nicer guys I've met in all my time doing this. So definitely was great to have him on. And someone else that we're going to bring on that has become very instrumental to Pick Dogs, just over the last year and a half. And that's Brad, my fellow video co-host, morning show co-host,
Roof.
man of many trades, the things that he can do in just 5 minutes. I mean, wait, what?
How we doing, Roof?
Doing okay. I'm still, my eyes are a little bit red and a little bit tired, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's what the rest of the day is for. We're getting ready for a solid card today. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Yeah, I know you've been busy just as I've been, but man, today is it's a special day. What comes to mind when I think of Mitch is, of course, his drive he had to have and his discipline to grow this company, grow this audience. He was great at what he did when it came to a content creation perspective, and as a business owner, he knew how to get the most of us by simply just leading by example. I mean, there was no one harder working than Mitch. He was also very compassionate as well. Like, don't get me wrong, Mitch talked his shit, but he had a good heart too. There's a couple, I used to do a parlay video a couple years ago. I think I mentioned in the video that I was just going through some stuff. I was having a rough day. I'll speak my heart sometimes on videos, and I don't know how I know Mitch didn't watch all my videos. There's no way he did, but maybe he saw a comment, but he reached out to me personally, asked if everything was all right, gave me some advice. So, on camera, on the lives, like I said, Mitch would talk his shit. He'd be ruthless sometimes, but he really did have a good heart. And yeah, it's crazy. It's been a year, but we'll continue to keep his name alive. No doubt about that. So shout out to GOAT Mitch. We all miss him, and hopefully he's watching down on us, and he's watching this and with a smile on his face. So shout out to GOAT. When it comes to a pick, I'm going to go to Lincoln, Nebraska for this one. I think we see some ugly Big Ten ball in this Iowa-Nebraska game. Nebraska is not going to score much in this game, rolling with the backup quarterback. We all know Iowa prides himself on defense. It's going to be a tough day for the Cornhuskers on offense. But then on the other side, Iowa, they're going to try to run the ball down Nebraska's throat. I trust Iowa's run defense. It's going to be cold. It's going to be nasty. Like I said, this is going to be a classic Big Ten game. So I think you know where I'm going with this. Give me the under 38.5, Iowa, Nebraska.
Yeah. Mitch would have a conniption that you're throwing out Big Ten football right now just because
it's gross.
Horrendous.
It's horrendous.
But it's Iowa getting back to Iowa football.
Exactly. That's what we love. We need Iowa to get back to Iowa. I don't like Iowa scoring.
I don't like Iowa having offense.
No, it's not right. It's not right. I think we see classic Iowa today, though.
There you go. Well, you guys can find Brad at Pick Dogs Premium on X and Instagram. Brad Wins Bets. He's on the video side with me, splitting the videos far more often than not. He's got a breakdown for the NFL. He's doing just as much as I am these days with the video production on the video side. So definitely make sure that you guys check that out. But I appreciate you popping on, Brad. Something for bringing a free pick for everybody as well. Because like I said, at the end of the day, that's kind of what this channel was based on. So, but yeah, we'll see you around.
Yeah, appreciate it, Roof. Good luck today.
You too. Brad Francis, you can find him over at Pick Dogs and on our YouTube channel. Like I said, he's just doing so much content that finally have someone that I can relate to it with me. That's the biggest thing for me. But one of the biggest things that Mitch, one of the best suggestions he had over the years was the capper contest. And someone that we were able to pluck from the capper contest, we're going to have a couple people throughout the show, but someone that we definitely had, one of the diamonds in the rough that we found, Jovan Burtz. Jovan, how you doing?
Yeah, doing all right, relatively speaking. Tough day today, being that it's the year anniversary of Mitch's passing. And yeah, I came here via the first ever Kappa contest. Didn't win the Kappa contest. It came in second. But let me backtrack real quick how I came on to me and Mitch. It was just like many of y'all or all of y'all through this camera while he was holding court, talking sports. At first, it was him by himself. I think it was 2019, late 2019. And then it was the Pug Dogs, Rod and Chris. And then COVID hit. And guess what? Mitch was still here with the Pug Dogs, talking Bundesliga and all types of sports that I have no interest in. But I tuned in. And then COVID, slowly was lifted just enough for sports to come back with no fans in attendance and all that stuff. Football season, baseball season, 2020, 2020, and he was ready to roll. And by that winter, he came up with the first ever Kappa contest, which I participated in, came in second. I didn't win, but what I did was I reached out. I wanted to come on as a rider. He did some checking out with Rod because Rod was the administrator of that Kappa contest. And guess what he did? He saw that I did some write-ups and he brought me aboard as a handicapper. I started off the gate hot as fish grease, and that was it. I found my calling, and that was the long and the short of it. Now, through the years and conversations with Mitch on these shows, on these morning shows, he had a memory recall when it came to sports like no other. He was cut from a different cloth. And I think y'all all know that. But one memory that I have in mind is there was a game between the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Clippers back in 2020 where the score was, what was it, 124, there was 73. It was the Mavericks blown out like you have never seen. Luka Doncic did whatever he wanted in that game. And a couple years later, 2022 or somewhere around there, it was during the basketball season, me and Mitch was holding court on the screen talking about it. It was just like two old buddies talking about a game. So that's the type of guy Mitch was. And behind the scenes, this is where Mitch really had the magic. When you was going through trying times in your personal life, he would be there for you. And he was there for me in those trying times. And I'll be forever grateful for him and being in this pig dog community and doing what I can to make sure this is done the pig dog's way.
Definitely well said. And the thing I remember is that with these capper contests that we did, it was never the winner that stayed. It was always the other people, the people that Mitch would vet out and go and find. The people that won, it was just like, okay, well, I didn't choose you. You're just here because we were obligated to have a winner. And then those people wouldn't last. Mitch had a good head on his shoulders, and he could spot talent from a mile away, and it just goes to it's a lot of the people that are on the website now are the people that Mitch hand chose. I mean, picked a lot of these people. So, but Jovan, I appreciate you popping on today. We're definitely one of the cornerstones of Pick Dogs over the years, and we'll see you throughout the week. We'll see you on the weekend shows, and I appreciate you popping on.
Yeah, rest in peace, Mitch.
Absolutely, Jovan. Thank you for coming on today. But going to keep on keeping on with another cornerstone of Pick Dogs. It was Mr. Bank Shop Breakdown, Mr. Ron's Rundown, Ron Romanelli. Ron, how you doing?
Good morning, Chris. I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing as good as I can. Trying to keep it all together. Got to
Mhm.
be the glue. Because I got got a lot of things running through my mind today.
He called you the franchise for a reason, Chris. That's you.
It started out with ball hog, but I thought
The ball hog
franchise.
too. Yep.
I thought franchise sounded better, and it was mostly in the early goings, and I'll talk about this later, but it was mostly dumbass. But franchise,
amongst other
probably,
names too.
Yeah, franchise probably sounds the best, but take it away.
Yeah, I think sometimes when people pass in your life, you don't always immediately feel the ways that you're going to miss them, all the ways that you're going to miss them immediately. And for me, talking to Mitch every day, I didn't realize just how much I love talking games with him while the games are on. He's somebody that obviously great commentary, for games. He's critical of coaches and players. He knows just about all the history of all college sports, and he's really somebody that was so positive and optimistic about his games. He was very confident in his bets, but also just the way he lives. His team. He was confident in the Pick Dogs team, and he always said in baseball, if his team's up 3-0 in the first inning, it's in the bag. Game's over. We got to cash the ticket. If his team's losing 3-0 in the first inning, no problem. We're going to come back. There's no worry. He was always just so positive and optimistic, and that's something that I kind of struggled with at the beginning of my professional career, which I started my career with Mitch. I would get down if I'd go on a couple losing streak, and he'd always somebody to pick me right up and say, you got this. He really believed in me, believed in everybody, and that's something I really miss. And I haven't really talked about this on the shows because it is tough to talk about. I know we're trying to keep things light, but something really special that I cherish about Mitch was, the day last year, Thanksgiving, we had a final conversation that morning that I'll always remember and always cherish. And, he was in a losing streak at that time. He was losing a few days in a row. But he, again, positive. He kept saying things are going to turn around. The final thing he said to me was, I think today is my day. Turn around, drawing the line in the sand. This is quote unquote. And I said, day one of a monster run. And he ended up sweeping the board on Thanksgiving. I think he had 3 NFL plays. They all won. And I said, that's Mitch right there. That, staying positive, and he got the job done. He was, I miss him more than anything. One of my best friends, my boss. And I'm just so proud of the Pick Dogs team for everybody coming together this past year, a very challenging year, to keep things rolling and to keep improving every day. He always said, you'll watch your videos 6 months ago. I want you to say, oh, that's terrible. I can do better. And that's how I live. I always try to get better and better, stay positive. A lot of the things that Mitch taught me. So miss him every day. Rest in peace. And appreciate all you guys in the Pick Dogs community for staying with us.
Yeah, my videos are still shit 8 years later. But no, well said. I mean, it's what he wanted for all of us, was just to, strive to, be a better version of ourselves than we were yesterday. And yeah, I remember when he came up with Ron's rundown, and I said, oh, what am I going to do for a hockey video? And he said, well, you could do Ruffalo's rundown. He's like, wait a minute, no, that's taken. I'm like, oh shit. So I was like, now you're going to force me to be creative. That's great. And
yeah, he didn't love the bank shot breakdown. That was when I came up with, and he said, what's this bank shot breakdown? I said, I don't know. I couldn't come up with a name. You came up with rundown. You didn't help me with the bank shot breakdown, but
yeah. And then he's like, then the reach around was his bit. Oh,
yeah, that's a good. He always had the best bits.
Wrap around. I was like, oh, there's like, I'm like, you can't turn this, can you? And then he said reach around. I was like,
classic Mitch.
Yeah, that's what he did. Turned it around back on you, but because he was sharp as a tack. But appreciate you popping on, Ron. Thank you so much for joining. I know it's it's one of those days for all of us, but I can tell you, Ron and myself and a lot of us that are here wouldn't miss it for the world. So
yeah,
definitely appreciate everybody that's popped on, Ron especially. And like I said, you guys can find him over at Pick Dogs Premium and on our Pick Dogs channel. And every single day we'll be here. So thank you, Ron.
I gotta say, I gotta give out Texas A&M. I know Mitch would be fading the hell out of Steve Sarkisian, one of his coaches on his list. So I'll go with Texas A&M today.
You're just saying that because you know who's behind the scenes. You know that
He's coming.
yeah, he's gonna hashtag he coming. But yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you, Ron. Appreciate you popping on. There's Ron Romanelli. It's another. If you can't have a Mount Rushmore pick dogs without Ron Romanelli on it, but we'll bring in another, fellow person I've been able to work with on the drive. We had the pleasure of working with Sean Murphy. I haven't seen a little bit, but still looking dapper as ever. Sean, how you doing?
Yeah, Chris, good to see you. Tough circumstances, obviously. It's interesting just listening to everyone talk here. I think we all have similar sentiments. We all have similar feelings. I'm going to repeat a lot of the stuff that's kind of already been said, but it's hard to believe a year has passed. I think we're all still kind of processing it. Like it was just, I still remember learning of this news last year, and it was just, you're just stunned. You just can't believe it, and it just think we're all still kind of dealing with it and figuring things out. But I think just the thing about Mitch is, I've been doing this for 20 plus years, handicapping professionally, and it's unique that Mitch, he built a community first. There's a lot of pick selling sites out there. There's, hundreds of them out there, but Mitch built a real community, and he was always community first. It wasn't, I know money's part of it, but the sales aspect of it was also always kind of like an afterthought. Like you'd be on the shows with Mitch. It was all about just talking about the games. It was all, banter about the games. You'd have your segment. You'd talk for 10 minutes about a game. And then at the very tail end, Mitch would just say, okay, what are you selling today? And it was just kind of like an afterthought. And that's just, the way he ran this business. It was all about building the community, building trust with the customers, not really just trying to push sales or push picks in your face. It was all just about the love of the game. It kind of in that initial video at the start of this show, one of the things Mitch said was about how, he didn't have to be doing this. He just loved doing it. It was for the love of the game. So, I always really appreciated that. I remember when Mitch first brought me on, I think it was around 2021, maybe I came on the site, and, he said on the show one time, he said, "Oh, do you remember the first thing I asked you?" I said, "I can't really recall." He said, "I asked you if you're a real person." That was Mitch, just the integrity in the business. It's a more important question maybe than most would think, but he wanted to make sure he had good people, not only good good handicappers on here. And it's just I've just been impressed by the way this site has carried on the last year. I know I'm a little more behind the scenes, not in front of the camera quite as much, but I definitely wanted to get on here today and just kind of pay my respects to the man, and just to the community that he's built here in Pick Dogs, and just how great it is to see it continue on with all of you folks.
Yeah, definitely well said. Yeah, I can't add much more to that. I think it was just one of those things where he meant a lot to all of us, and like you said, some of those best shows were just shows where you could just hash it out, talk about a game for 10 minutes, and then get in and get out. And like you said, it's always been about the community. Everything else was just a bonus. And
yeah. I always just appreciated the fact that it wasn't such a, not such an in your face kind of selling. And you guys, it continues on. It's not we're not on here tooting our own horn or anything like that. We're on here to talk about the games and organically grow the community and grow the customers. So it's just great to see that continue, and I hope it continues on over time.
Absolutely, we're going to make sure that does happen. I think that's one of our, one of the things that we've kind of locked in, that we're just going to keep it going, because what he would have wanted. But appreciate you popping on, Sean. It's like I said, it's a heavy day for all of us, but appreciate you being here. And everybody, you can find Sean over at Pick Dogs Premium. Definitely somebody you want to have on your side when you're making your best bets. But again, Sean, thank you so much, and appreciate you joining us today.
Thanks, Chris. Chris, have a good weekend.
See you. Sean Murphy. Always love having Sean on. But Sean always talked about, just bringing in, diamonds in the rough and having them, new characters join. We've had someone join us within the last year and a half, and he's become very popular on our YouTube channel. We got Jay Yang. Jay, how are you doing?
Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, good. I'm joining from South Korea. It's dark here, but I just wanted to share my memory with Mitch. I think my moment is the very first call. He wanted to talk to me about the handicapper resume I submitted to become a handicapper. He started off. He received thousands of emails and inquiries. Me, basically, I had zero experiences when I applied 2 years ago. I was going through the most difficult time after quitting, or I would rather say I was betrayed by the firm and by my trusted friend that I have worked for 15 years and change in private equity firm in New York. I think Mitch and I were both honest and transparent to each other. So when I had a chance to talk to Mitch, he welcomed me in every way, sometimes in a hard way, correcting my lack of experiences back then. And he said he has similarities in the background. He didn't care I had experiences or not. He saw my potential. He decided to hire me in 10 minutes of conversation, showed me a glimpse of hope back then. And he was decisive, focused on what he did. He emphasized the everyday hard work, his every single day hard work routine lessons helps me thrive until today. So I owe him a great deal. He taught me a life lesson. I promise, I guess I will continue to handicap every single day like you had done. And I really hope you rest in peace. And I really appreciate this opportunity and Pick Dog community. Thank you.
Absolutely. Love having Jay on, and we don't get to talk as much as I would like, but appreciate you joining us today. And I know it's late there, so we'll get you to bed, get some much deserved rest. But thank you so much for joining us, and appreciate you. And we're so lucky to have you here as part of the Pick Dogs community. So thanks for joining us, Jay. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Chris.
That was Jay Yang. It still great to have all these people that we don't necessarily talk every single day, and it's just great to have all of our cappers come on and make appearances, and just share their favorite memories with Mitch, and definitely happy to have that. But we'll move on, bring on someone else that was discovered via the capper contest. We had Jovan earlier. Now we've got Wayne Scott. Wayne, how you doing?
Everything's going well with me, Chris. I hope everything's going as well with you, as well as it could be on a day like this.
I can't complain. If I can, who would listen, right? No one's gonna listen to my bitching today. But take it away.
Yeah, man. As Chris stated, I came here on the Capper Show. As a lot of these guys stated, one thing huge about Mitch was he gave us all a chance. I want to just first start off by thanking the guys for continuing the legacy. Guys like Brad, Jay, Ron. Following up Mitch is like following up Michael Jordan. And as you see on the team, Mitch has some Kobe Bryant, some LeBron James. And these are all guys that have learned a lot of what they do from looking up from Mitch. Me and Mitch had a few things in common, but one thing that stuck out to me from Mitch was that he was a giver. He gave you free picks daily, and these are not your normal free picks. A lot of people will give you favorites, minus 300. He joked about cappers doing that all the time. That was not Mitch's style. Mitch is giving you underdogs. Every sport is one of his biggest ones we recall is lately was the Miami plus 800 in the playoffs, but he does that all year. Every sport gives a lot of that stuff for free. Jovan pointed out Mitch's memory recall, which is one of the main things I want to point out too, which made him so special. His stories, just breaking them down. I'm gonna give you one of the stories he gave me on the phone, trying to help me. As I'm explaining to you, Mitch is just a giver. So when I first started, I'm on the phone with Mitch, and he's like, he was telling me about one of his biggest losses. He didn't really tell me the amount. He said it was over 15 grand, but it was Kansas versus Baylor. Kansas was like a 15-point favorite. He had betted on Kansas. They had 3 or 4 studs that year. They were at Baylor and they lost outright. He said from that day on, he has faded Kansas at Baylor. He's like, guess what, Wayne? Kansas plays Baylor today. Take with that information as you must. But Baylor playing Kansas today. I'm on Baylor money line. They were like plus 8 at home. So it was about 11:40 at that time. I get off the phone with Mitch. I'm like, dang, Mitch just gave me a jewel. I'm betted out online, but I stayed like 20 minutes from the casino. So I'm rushing to the casino. I'm like, man, I got to put like $500 on this bet. When Mitch gave me something like directly in that. So I'm getting there. As soon as I get to this casino, I'm 3 minutes late. Baylor's already up like 8-2. I am pissed, but I'm smiling in my head like, bro, this man Mitch is a genius. Like, who just gives out stuff like this? But that's my story for Mitch. I love him. I miss him. I know he's here in spirit with all of us, just helping us, guide us through this daily task. I'm a firm believer that his energy and his spirit is still around us. So I'm gonna preach that. My game that I'm gonna give out. Why wouldn't I give out the Magic Money Line Day? I mean, Mitch literally called me. Called the Magic the Wayne Skies. That's one of the raises that I got on the show. The Magic weren't as popular then. They were plus 200, 300 all the time. I was taking them left and right. We have another day where they're finally back to the underdog, going against the Detroit team, who was pretty hot before their last game against Boston, but they look stretched out. I mean, Craig Cunningham scored 40 points. There wasn't another player that scored over like 12 or 13. Going against the Magic team where 9 players just scored over 15 points. Magic are just as hot as fish grease as Detroit, but we're getting them at a dog price. We're going to take the Magic today.
Yeah.
Hope y'all heard me. My connection was clear and stuff. I hope it was
No, you're good. You're good. The only part I didn't want to hear was Orlando Magic, but that's
my bad.
No, you're good. I'm just you know me. I gotta take over the busting of the balls from Mitch. But as you were talking, I got like a pain in the back of my head, and I thought I heard someone say dumbass, and then I was like, oh wait a minute, he is here. But no, but you know, calling him the Wayne Scotts, that that was kind of what our show was built on, were the bits and the nicknames, and you know, it stuck, and you know, it's. We go back to, we talk about the sense of humor, and that's just what this is.
It was so natural, so natural for all y'all. So miss it, man.
Yeah, and like I said, Wayne was another gem that we got from the Capra contest. Now I don't know if we're gonna do another one anytime soon, but I'll tell you, it just goes to show you, just don't let an opportunity pass you by. And I think that's I'm not trying to preach. I'm just saying, Wayne and Jovan and all the guys are just proof of that. Don't let an opportunity pass you by, because you can make the most of it. And I'm happy to see how far they've all come. Everybody, everybody that's on Pick Dogs, we're going strong for a reason. It's because of all the people that are with us. And Mitch started that, and that's why we're all here to say a few words. But Wayne, I appreciate you popping on. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you, all across Pick Dogs and on the YouTube channel, and hopefully on our live shows on the weekend.
Yes, sir, for sure, man. Thank you for having me. It's a huge day of college sports. Good luck for all your bets, and handicapper style came from Mitch. So hey man, a lot of stuff when you see me going on these winning streaks is normally because I'm on dogs, and I'm gonna continue to bet and cap that way.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for popping on, Wayne. Appreciate it.
Nope.
Good to have Wayne on board. And now we move on to someone who's basically been with me since the beginning at Pick Dogs, and even back to sports chat place days. There we go. I got it right eventually. Shane Mickle. Shane, how you doing?
How's it going, everyone? I can't hear you, Chris, if you're talking.
Oh, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, all right. If you can hear me, that's all that matters. I can hear Wayne just fine, but not sure what happened. But I'll tell my Mitch story here real quick. So when the Facebook Pick Dogs group first started, I was in there, and I don't know if I was a moderator or what, but I was commenting in there almost every day. And I don't know how, but Mitch somehow found out that I wrote for a competitor company, and he basically just wrote me a long message, chewing me out, basically accusing me of being a spy for this competitor company. But said if I ever wanted to work for a real company, or not a real company, but if I wanted to work for a different company, the invite was always open. I didn't take him up at that point on it, but I stayed in contact. Stayed in contact. He kept saying, if you ever want to write for a different company, come on board. Now, when Pick Dogs finally got launched, I reached back out and I said, "All right, Mitch, I think I'm ready to write for you." And the rest is history. Obviously, you took me on board right away with the Pick Dogs. And then when Pick Dogs was launched, and the rest was history. Writing for what is it, 5-6 years now, handicapper, doing more of the customer service stuff now along with the handicapping. But I thank God that Mitch didn't just kick me out of that group and block me and send me on my merry way, because I don't know what I'd be doing with my life right now. And I'd probably be working some real job, 9 to 5 somewhere, having to deal with Black Friday today instead of dealing with handicapping or handicapping, get ready for the first big snowstorm in Minnesota. But yeah, always thankful for Mitch. Never actually got to meet him in person, but was always great. Always great to talk to. You didn't really hear from Mitch at times a ton, but even though sometimes he's a little tough on all of us writers and handicappers, how much he loved everyone. He would do anything for you. There's a few times where I ran into some troubles. He was the first person to give the shirt off of his back, help me out when when other people wouldn't do that. So always thankful for Mitch, and thank you for the time here to give my shout out to him, Chris.
Absolutely. It's always good to have Shane on. Appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I still can't hear you, but thanks for the time, everyone.
Absolutely. Great to have Shane on, and I'm not trying to throw people off. They can't hear me. I just don't want to be talking and just being a set of moving lips. But I was going to say, speaking of a set of moving lips, but I really just didn't want to throw to Rod that way. Rod, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Chris. It's one of those days. It's good to hear and reminisce about our friend who we miss dearly. As we know, nothing like a morning that he gets you going and calling you a dumbass and getting you going. It's what Mitch did best. On those days that you didn't want to get up and get going, he found a way to get you going. So this Friday, it's a Friday, so I figured I'd wear my Aloha Friday shirt, because this Friday show has changed in a few times. It used to be a free-for-all Friday. We used to do Aloha Friday. We've done many things here at Pick Dogs. I'm grateful for Mitch for giving me the opportunity. So for my story, it started way back, kind of like Shane's, way back into a Facebook group. Minding my business, and I was the shy, quiet guy. I was scared and nervous. I was like everybody else. I was on the other side of the chat. I was in the chat, chatting away when Mitch and Tony T were doing the Pick Dog shows way back in the day before Pick Dogs formed, doing shows in there, interacting. And I never had a Facebook picture up. I always had a picture of a minion. So one day, all of a sudden, I get this message and say, "You're not a real person." Kind of like Shane Murphy said, Mitch always wanted to make sure that you were a real person out there, and you weren't like just the troll guy. And guess what? We had our differences. We argued about each other. I'm a real person. And then I put up a Facebook picture, and there it was. I was a real person. We made up our differences, and then all of a sudden, Pick Dogs was formed. He reached out to me and said, "Hey, I'm forming this new channel, big new community. We're going to call it Pick Dogs." And guess what? It's been 6 years later. Here we are. Not expecting to do what we're doing here today, reminiscing about our friend. I definitely miss him dearly. I wish I would have had the opportunity to thank him in person, shake his hand, and be like, "Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of the Pick Dogs community. I'm grateful to be here. Look at the people that I've been able to meet because of the Pick Dogs community. And I'm also excited for being able to live on Mitch's legacy, because this is what we're doing. It's the Pick Dogs community, and that was big and key for Mitch. Always, it was never about the business. He kept putting everything back in to Pick Dogs at the start. This is what grew it. It was never about the money for him. It was always about growing Pig Dogs, and he took everything that he made and he put it back into Pig Dogs, back into Pig Dogs, and that's what's got this community growing to where we are. As many of the cappers have stated, it was never about the money for Mitch. This was all about his love of the game, loving the sports, loving interacting with everybody, getting on those winners, and just doing what you love. So I'm grateful to be able to do what I love and be able to get you guys winners, get you guys enjoying the Pig Dogs community and living on that legacy of Mitch for another as long as I'm around, still rolling. I'm grateful and excited to be part of the Pig Dogs community. I'm grateful for Mitch. Miss him dearly. Miss you, Mitch. Rest in peace, buddy.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot I could add to that. I mean, Mitch, he said loved by all, and even I've said this before. No matter how much you may have hated his picks, or you may have hated his or you disagreed with it or whatever, you still loved him at the end of the day.
Always, right? We had butted heads a few times, but
a few times.
Maybe a few times. But still, at the end of the day, he still had your back. I had his back. We were still friends. Friends, bottom line. It always has been, and it's tough when you lose somebody. It's never easy in life when you lose somebody. But I'm grateful to still be here a year later, and we're still rolling along. I'm grateful to see that everybody's still rolling along, and we're still thriving and growing in the Pig Dogs community. Which is what he's looking down and smiling. I'm telling you, I can see him now in the background, laughing and smiling and wishing us all the best. And I'm telling you, he's behind us, pushing a little bit because there's signs.
That's why I said, when Wayne was talking, I got a call or I got a smack in the back of my head. I got a pain in the back of my head, and I swear I heard the word dumbass. So I think that's probably a sign. But Rod, I appreciate you popping on. It's always good to have you on. Make sure you guys check out Rod over at Pig Dogs Premium. He does an NHL video every day, play of the day on our YouTube channel. So definitely make sure that you guys check that out. But
I pick for everybody, take the Panthers on the puck line over the Calgary Flames today. We know it was Mitch's favorite team. It was the old logo, new logo, right? It was his favorite team. So we're taking the Florida Panthers to beat up on the Calgary Flames. Love to see it. Take them on the puck line. They beat up Calgary today.
Absolutely. I like it too, in all honesty. So there you go. But Rod, thank you for popping on, and we will see you throughout the week.
Definitely see you throughout the week. Take care, everybody. Appreciate everybody that's part of the Pig Dogs community, because, hey, without you guys here doing it, we're not able to do what we do. We're not able to do what we love as well. So shout out to everybody that tunes into the Pig Dogs family and continue to grow. Tell your mother, tell your friend. Remember, Mom likes to count us 3 times. So shout out everybody. Take care.
Absolutely. Appreciate Rod popping on. And we got a couple more people behind the scenes, but we'll quickly go to Big Al McMorty, someone I've had the pleasure of getting to know over the years, thanks to Mitch. And Al, how you doing today?
I'm doing okay. It's a somber day right now doing this, but yeah, how are you doing, Chris?
I'm doing all right. Just like you said, taking it kind of as the day progresses, and just trying to treat it like any other day, just as you would have wanted us to. So, and with a big card of afternoon action in typical Ruffalo fashion, I'm still putting plays in. So we're still we're still working away at it. The grind never stops. But take it away, Al.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say other than what's already been said. I was just gonna, maybe just mention, really, first time I met Mitch was out in Las Vegas, and we went out for dinner that night. Carrie joined, and unfortunately, Carrie, right at the start had an upset stomach. She had to go back to the hotel room, so it was just me and Mitch, and we were at Amalfi over at Caesar's Palace. And Carrie missed like one of the greatest meals. We had a feast, and then it was really special. The manager of Amalfi, his name's JP. He basically gave us the entire meal for free. So yeah, it was a really good night. I'll always remember that. One of the best meals I've ever had. Great company. So that's basically, I just remember all the good times with Mitch. And there were a lot of good times. So don't really have much else to say. So.
No, but I hear you. It's sometimes the few words are the ones that speak the most. And it's like Al said, it's just all of us coming together today to kind of remember just the memories that we had with Mitch, and that was, some of our absolute favorites. And so I definitely still appreciate you coming on though, and chatting it up and sharing your story, because it's one of the cornerstones of Pick Dogs as well. We have a few mainstays. We've had people come and go over the years, but Big Al's always one of the constants. And appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah, I can just give out a quick free pick.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, this is a really good NBA system. The record's 123-80 with 6 pushes over the last 36 years. And it's basically a play on a team that just had an embarrassing loss in its previous game, and that's the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks played the Washington Wizards. The Wizards were on a 14-game losing streak at the time, and Atlanta was favored by 11 points. And in the NBA, when you get a team that was favored by 6 or more points against a team on a 7-game or worse losing streak, and if that team loses outright to that, ice cold team, they usually bounce back the next game after that embarrassing loss, and they've gone 123-80, and that's Atlanta tonight, and they're +6 against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Love it. It's one of the ones that I was kind of looking at too. So just makes you feel even better about it. But I appreciate you joining us.
Thanks, Chris.
Always good to talk to you, and we will see you throughout the week and hopefully on the weekend shows.
Okay, thanks for doing what you do.
Thanks, bro. All right, we only got a couple more behind the scenes, but another person that I've gotten to know over the years, thanks to Mitch. I always love his kooky outfits whenever I see him, whenever he pops in behind Costi. Eric, how you doing?
So this is I wore all this for Mitch. So the best Mitch story was I was with Jay and Mitch at the La Fontainebleau in Vegas. They had opened up the new Chrome Hearts shop. And we decided we were going to walk over and check out the Fontainebleau Chrome Hearts, because he knows I'm a Chrome Hearts freak. And we get to the door and the lady goes, "Do you have a reservation?" And Mitch just, whatever he said to her, all of a sudden, 5 seconds later, we were inside the place. And they were chaperoning us around, Jay, Mitch, and myself. And it was like, he wasn't going to deal with any of that snooty patootie stuff. So, what can I say about Mitch? I think about him every day. I talk to him every day. I talked to him the morning, Thanksgiving morning, just like you did. We all dealt with him on a daily basis. And, I said this before and I'll say it again, to be the snoozer on the show. I'll keep it short and sweet. Health is wealth. If you're over the age of 40 and you're a man, go get that heart checked. Because in the end of the day, that's one of the most valuable lessons to be taken out of the situation. That, you can be here and gone tomorrow, especially if you just act like you're abominable. And he didn't. I mean, he was in good health, but he didn't know. And we don't know what would have been if there would have been a checkup in between. So, with that being said, cardiac events are real, and that gets often overlooked in this whole debacle. But it also should be a good learning experience and takeaway from this tragedy of sudden cardiac arrest.
Yeah, it's definitely a good takeaway to have from this, is to keep on top of everything. Because it can be sudden. I tell you, was one of those things that just hit me like a ton of bricks. Seemed like he was healthy as could be, and next thing you know, we're having to take a few days off
And
to collect
physically,
ourselves.
and this is a shout out to all the lean people of the world. Physically, that's the thing. A lot of people think if they're thin, they've been so designed to think if they're thin that they're healthy. Your heart doesn't care about your weight. Your heart is your heart.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
But I love the guy. I think about him every day. I do I keep the rubber band, the bracelet that we got when we all met in Vegas for the celebration of life. Be kind to everyone another, make it a winning day, because as I could get combustive with irate clients if they can't handle the losing, and then I'll just look down and go, you know what, it's not worth the argument. Be kind to one another. What I said in my video today before I give you the free pick was exactly the truth. As somebody said earlier, Mitch would have losing streaks, Mitch would have winning streaks, and he was always cool as a cucumber regardless. He didn't, and that's what I said in my video. Don't take life too seriously. We're all gambling. We love the exhilaration. We love the fun, but don't give yourself, don't go to sleep in a bad mood because the Ravens didn't win last night. I told my son, go to sleep with a smile on your face. So with that being said, I'll give you the same complimentary selection that I gave out on my video today. Two teams have the same win-loss record, straight up record, 8-3, 8-3. Two teams have the same spread record, 7-4, 7-4. I couldn't do anything other than take the Bears plus the 7 as the complimentary selection. May Mitch's memory be a blessing.
And of course, today we have to say bear down, Chicago Bears. That's something that's definitely something I wish that's definitely a sound clip that I wish we had today that I could have found. But
I appreciate you doing this and hosting this show today.
I appreciate you taking time out to join us. And said, Eric, you can find all of his video every day. Excuse me, at our Pick Dogs channel, and you can contact him for more information on all the services that we've got going on that side. But Eric, thanks for popping on, and appreciate you.
You got it, man. You too.
And then there were two, well, three. I got some behind the scenes, but we'll bring on my cohort, my right hand man, my partner in crime.
It's happening.
Wearing some of the most god awful colors I can see today, but that's what Mitch taught us to do, is just rag on each other, just jokingly. But Jay, how you doing?
What's going on, man? What's going on? What a day today is, man. But I'm just here to celebrate the GOAT. It's crazy, 365 days later. But man, we grew a lot over the last year. We grew together over the last year. Man, and we're just trying to continue the legacy of the GOAT, man. That's really just that simple. So he believed in me, he believed in us, and I'm just trying to be who he thought I was and who y'all think I am, and who the whole community is, and just continue to embody that. I think that's what Pick Dogs is and what we will forever try to strive to be. Man, my favorite Mitch story, I got a million of them. A couple of people talked about some of our Vegas trips. I know me and Mitch stay in Vegas, man. I give two. My favorite one is my first time in Vegas was with Mitch, and I got a speed run of Vegas. I don't know if y'all been to Vegas and y'all have ever been to Vegas with somebody who was a part of old Vegas, like seen all parts of Vegas, and that was Mitch. So like I got a history lesson in Vegas my first time there, like a speed run of everything from the Strip to Fremont and everything in between, what happened, why it's there, how it's there. The cool little local spots. He just knew so much, man. He was like a walking encyclopedia, man. It was crazy. Like the knowledge I was able to soak up from him is invaluable, man. And I think that's just what's insane about it all. My favorite story, though, we're in Vegas. He has like a 4-leg parlay. And y'all know him. Everybody told y'all about his betting style, how he bets. And man, he was a wild guy, man, when it comes to betting. Like, so for this specific parlay he had a couple of reverse run lines in baseball. So he has the underdog to win by a run and a half. Man, the Royals are down, I believe, 2 runs. Same thing kind of Ron was talking about. Like, his confidence was unwaverable. When he's up in a game, it's done. It's in the bag. Cash it. If he's down in a game, oh, we're coming back. Don't worry about it. And like, I saw this personified in person. So we're walking out of Horseshoe, and I think we're getting ready to walk back to Aria, and he has 1 game left on this ticket. And it's the Royals, and they're down 2 runs, and he has them winning by a run and a half. And he goes, Bobby Witt Jr. is going to hit a grand slam and cash me this ticket. We're walking through Vegas. It's still one of the craziest shits I've ever seen happen. I no lie to you. 2 batters later, bases loaded, walk off, grand slam. Bobby Witt, fam. It's still to this day is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. Me and him jumping like little kids in the middle of, I think we were the promenade between Horseshoe, like, you know, that little promenade between Horseshoe and where that new is that Jason Aldean's is, but it was just crazy, man. And that's just one of a few. Like, I've seen him, you know, March Madness, me and Brad, where Costi has told this story plenty of times, where he hit that long round robin for the script, man. Like, it's so many stories I could tell, man. But I miss him. There's not a single day that goes by where I don't think of him. I'm fortunate that he was able to come into my life. Man, and I just want to continue to try to be the man that he knew I was going to become. So it's rare in life, man, where somebody believes in you. You know what I mean? And the way he believed in me, man, was insane. So it's only right that I continue to try to keep it pushing, man. So that's it. That's all.
Yeah, I was there for a lot of that. I remember that walk-off grand slam too. I was like, and you didn't tell me that you played it? and he just well, I'll tell you, I still have to, you know, do a couple, you know, spiels about it. But one of the things that I'll always remember is when we were in Vegas. It was the first time I'd ever gone to Vegas for March Madness, and it was when Miami beat Auburn. And I remember Mitch saying he was going to go play it. Like, he was going to go to the sports book and play it. I was like, yeah, whatever. You're going to go put a couple $100 on it. No, I think he ended up putting like $3,000 on it. And he comes back, and we're meeting in the lobby because we're going to go out to dinner. His pants are falling down because of how much cash he has in his pocket. He's walking out to the cab, and he's like, I got to go get a belt. He's walking, picking up his shorts because his pants are falling down because of how much money is in his pockets. I was dying. And he's like, here, take this. And he hands me like $500. And I'm like, what do you want me to do with this? He's like, just take it. I can't. It's falling out of my pockets. Take it. I was like, what? Okay. So we eventually went into the casino, and, you know, he's like, just don't use it on hookers or blow. And I was like, I said to him, I can't make any promises. So, but
man,
I'd say, you know, like Jay said, he knew what he was investing in. And, you know, that's the best way we could say it, is he knew what he had. And the ones that he kept close to him because he knew what he, like I said, I keep saying it, he knew what he had. He trusted us with it. So,
yeah.
But appreciate you joining me, Jay. Appreciate you popping on.
Of course.
For doing what you do, the jam session, the occasional pop-up pod.
Free play? You want a free play?
Yeah. Do it up. Let me get myself off of here.
you could go with the future. I can get you out of future. You just go ahead and put your Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl ticket in, man. You know. You can go ahead and put that Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl ticket in, man, if you want to. You know, I'll save it for Monday where I'll go crazy about it on the recap. But I'm gonna tell y'all right here, right now, man. How many of y'all in here? Hook 'em. Believe me today. Hook 'em. So I can't say too much, but I'm gonna say hook 'em. So
I don't know which was worse. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Man.
But nah, I got you. I have to bust chops. It's what I do. It's like I said. It was the role that was handed down that I've inherited. So
yeah.
But appreciate you popping on. Thank you for joining us and thank you for doing what you do.
Yes,
thank you
sir.
for hosting, for carrying on what Mitch is left in our hopefully very capable hands.
Yes, sir.
And Giga Maggies. We'll see you soon, Jay. Bye.
Peace.
Okay. Well, hold on. I gotta get you back on here for this comment.
Man, that's funny.
It's not wrong. He's not wrong. All right. There we go. All right. So before I'm gonna go last, but before we get out of here, I do have a special message from someone who wanted to be here, but unfortunately couldn't make it. And that's also someone that's been with Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place for as long as I can remember. So here's a special message from Goran.
Guys, Goran here, and we are here to pay the tribute to the great Mitch Wilson, who unfortunately left us. It's hard to imagine it's already been a year, but you know what? It's hard to find words in a situation like this. He was a big part of my life, and he brought me on to the Big Dogs in 2017. So it's been over 8 years now, and like I said, it's hard to imagine this site without him. But with everything that all of us have been doing at Big Dogs, I think he would be proud, and the way we've been developing as people and developing this Big Dog site to a whole different level, getting a bunch new subscribers. I just heard that we passed 260,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is a massive milestone. And you know what? We'll keep doing this in Mitch's honor. He definitely deserved it. And yeah, like I said, I just wish I could have been there live with you guys, but I'll take a couple of minutes here and just try to find some words to describe Mitch. I mean, Mitch and I had a specific relationship. I mean, we've had our ups and downs, definitely, as we all do. But you know what? Whenever I asked him about something, either to grade my picks or what he thinks about video or whatever, he would just tell me "fuck you," and he would just laugh like a crazy person. And I think that was one of his more favorite parts of every single day. And it was fun, you know, and he is greatly missed. And all we can do is keep growing and keep building this site and get better with every day, with every video that we do, every live show that we do. And that's what he would want it. And I think he's proud. And I want to thank everybody else around Big Dogs as well, all the people behind the scenes who are making this site what it is and making it grow and making it work. And it is my pleasure to share this with you guys. I just hope that Mitch is here. But yeah, I think he will be proud, and I think we can all agree on that. We'll keep doing what we love to do, and especially me as one of the few soccer guys that we have on the Big Dogs website. especially now that the World Cup is coming to North America. I will do my best to make it even bigger than we are right now. And all of this is thanks to Mitch, who brought me on board, like I said, over 8 years ago. And he is being missed every single day. So thank you, Mitch. And hey, hopefully you are proud of us, and hopefully you will be even more proud in the future.
I said it better myself. I appreciate Goran sending that in. For those of you who don't know, Goran is one of our soccer handicappers. Like I said, he's been here, almost since the beginning. For me, I'm going to start by giving you guys my free pick. And we're going to go with, in honor of Mitch, I'm going to give you my favorite premium money line dog that I have on the board today. I'm going to take the Memphis Grizzlies. I think that the Memphis Grizzlies, profiled as a team that beats bad teams, struggles against good teams. And even though they're banged up, they've won 3 of their last 4. And the Clippers, they're a bad team that are just that should be better than they are, but I'm not laying any kind of price with the Clippers just because the Clips is a home favorite last year with money. This year, they've won just 3 of their 8 home games so far. The Grizzlies have been competitive. They have pieces in the lineup that can win this game. And the Grizzlies also, need to get a win by margin to try to get some point differential back in the NBA, give themselves any sort of chance to progress. So take the Grizzlies on the money line in this one. But it's my last. I'm gonna leave everybody with this. And we're gonna head out of here. But I appreciate everyone joining me and joining all the cappers and everyone today. But Mitch hired me back in August of 2016, and he was technically my boss, but he was that doesn't even scratch the surface of what he was to me. He was my mentor. He was someone I went, and I looked up to for advice. And somewhere along the way, he just became one of my closest friends. Maybe it was at the Peppermill and the plate of French toast, or in the fruit cup, or maybe it was a fruit plate. No, it was definitely a fruit cup that we bonded over. It's an inside joke. But if you knew Mitch, you knew he had that hard ass exterior. He could bark at you. He could call you out. He could make you feel like the dumbest person alive in any given moment. But you always knew that it came from a place of wanting the best out of you. He saw potential in people before they even saw it in themselves. You've heard that from a lot of people that were on the show today. But he didn't just talk about working hard. He actually lived it. From when he showed off his badge from his time at the World Trade Center, when I still could not believe that he ever had hair, to holding that plaque for Pick Dogs, hitting our 100,000 subscriber. And if you needed any more proof, before I even started taking on videos to help, like way back, he did all of them every day. Not because it was work, it was because he loved it. He loved the grind. He loved sports. He loved betting, and he loved sharing that with people, with all of you, with the Pick Dogs family. And then there was this humor. A lot of people have already talked about it. And Mitch had like the driest but the best sense of humor imaginable. And his delivery was so perfect that half the time you didn't even know he was joking until you were already laughing, or he started laughing before he could even get the joke out. That montage that we played at the beginning, which, by the way, Brad did a fantastic job on. So if you guys leave comments and leave something in the comment section, give Brad props. That video package was fantastic. But it just barely touches how funny he truly was. I mean, whether it was calling us foolish, telling us we lacked vision, calling us dumbasses, from doing the Bitler voice, from telling us to take the charges, trashing Miami football and Manny Diaz, professing his love for Deion and Shedeur Sanders and Colorado football. Hashtag we coming. It was never mean. It was all from a place of love, of sports. It was always Mitch messing with us in the only way that Mitch could, mainly because I was worried that if I ever talked back, there was a chance that he would fire my ass. But the truth is, I miss it. I miss all of it. I miss his leadership, his presence on the morning show, and just being able to reach out to him every day and knowing that I would see him tomorrow morning. I miss his advice. And yeah, call me crazy. I miss him calling me a dumbass, because it would always come with that little smirk that lets you know that he actually cared. Now, there's people in the YouTube comments who claim that they didn't like him, or the picks that he gave out for free, the hundreds of thousands that he did over time, that he was, doing this, but they still loved him, whether they wanted to admit it or not. And everybody did. You could disagree with him on a spread, a total, a pick, but you couldn't deny how genuine he was, how much passion he had, and how much he meant to this whole community and this thing called sports betting that we get to wake up and get to do every day. You know, he was and is not only the founder of the best sports betting website and the community out there, but he is also an inspiration, a visionary, a trendsetter. Most importantly, he is and will forever be my friend. It's been a year now. He has missed every single day, and not a day goes by where I don't think about him and knowing what this meant to him and how hard he worked to build it. It made all of us want to take it to new heights, carry on his legacy. And I know he would roll his eyes at all this and what this was today, but man, he fucking deserves it. So, Mitch, aloha, ahui ho. We'll see you again.